January 21 used to mean something to me, not because of the calendar, but because of what we believed about it. In the occult world, we were trained to attach meaning to certain dates, not randomly, strategically. We believed transitions amplified intention, midnight, new moons, the 21st day of cycles. We weren't guessing, we were conditioning ourselves to expect activation. And expectation is powerful. I remember sitting in dimly lit rooms, staring at the clock as it moved toward 1:25 a.m., convinced something would shift when the minute hand aligned. We were told, watch what happens. And when you're told to watch for something, your mind looks for it. Your body feels for it. Your fear amplifies it. That's how intensity is created. But when I left that world and surrendered my life to Christ, I experienced something that shocked me. Nothing happened at midnight. No surge of power. No spiritual explosion. No invisible gateway opening. The date changed. That's it. And that moment dismantled a belief system inside me, because I realized something simple but freeing: midnight doesn't create power. Belief does. And if you're being told to pray at midnight on a certain day to see what happens, I need you to pause. Not because prayer is wrong, but because expectation can either empower you or enslave you. Let's talk honestly about what really happens at midnight. Midnight feels spiritual because it's quiet. The world slows down. Notifications stop. Conversations fade. You become more aware of your own thoughts. Fatigue lowers resistance, and imagination grows louder. In the occult, we used midnight because people are emotionally open at that hour. They're more impressionable. Fear feels heavier. Atmospheres feel intense. But that intensity isn't automatic supernatural authority. It's human vulnerability. And when I became a believer, I had to confront something. I was still reacting to midnight like it held power, even though I now belonged to Christ. That reaction wasn't spiritual discernment. It was conditioning. Many believers don't realize they've been conditioned to expect midnight to be dramatic. So when someone says, pray at midnight on January 21 and watch, your nervous system prepares for spectacle. But here is the truth that freed me. Time does not grant authority. Identity does. Let me tell you about the first time I intentionally prayed at midnight without fear. No ritual, no anticipation of signs, no staring at the clock. Just surrender. Lord, you govern this hour. You govern this date. Nothing moves in my life without your permission. That was it. And something did shift. Not outside. Inside. Peace replaced anticipation. Confidence replaced tension. Clarity replaced drama. The shift wasn't in the atmosphere. It was in my posture. Prayer does not manipulate time. It aligns the heart. And when your heart is aligned, you stop looking for spectacle. You start walking in stability. Let's confront something honestly. There is subtle fear around certain days. People whisper about specific calendar dates as if they carry hidden weight. And when you hear January 21 at midnight, you may feel pressure to stay awake, pressure to pray perfectly, pressure to not miss something. But God is not bound to dates, and darkness does not gain bonus authority because of a calendar number. In the occult world, attaching power to dates was psychological reinforcement. When you expect intensity, your body produces it. When you expect manifestation, your mind interprets normal sensations as confirmation. Breaking that cycle was one of the most liberating things I ever experienced. Because when dates lose intimidation, peace increases. Now hear me clearly. There is nothing wrong with praying at midnight. If you feel led to pray during quiet hours, that's beautiful. Just don't do it because you fear something will happen if you don't. Pray from confidence. Pray from identity. Here's what that sounds like. Father, you are Lord over January 21. You are Lord over this hour. I don't fear time. I trust you completely. Then release the outcome. Don't watch the room. Don't scan your body for sensations. Don't analyze the silence. Authority is calm. It doesn't perform. And when you pray calmly, you reinforce who you belong to. If you pray at midnight and something dramatic happens, be cautious. Intensity alone is not proof of divine activity. Peace is. When something is truly from God, it steadies you. It doesn't spike adrenaline. In the occult, we chased sensation. In Christ, I found stability. And stability is stronger than spectacle. So what should you expect? You should expect peace. You should expect clarity. You should expect confidence. If January 21 passes quietly, that is not failure. That is freedom. There is a moment that tests people. You pray. You look at the clock. 1 twice a 05 a, nothing. 1 twice 17 a.m., still nothing. And a thought whispers, did I miss it? That whisper comes from performance-based spirituality. But real authority does not depend on timing. The greatest shift in my life was not something happening at midnight. It was no longer fearing midnight. The absence of drama is sometimes the greatest miracle because it means manipulation is gone. Let me finish this clearly. No date governs you. No hour intimidates you. No calendar carries supernatural charge over your life. If you belong to Christ, every second of every day is covered. So if you pray at midnight on January 21, pray boldly. But don't pray expecting fireworks. Pray expecting peace. And if you wake up the next morning feeling calm, grounded, and confident, that may be the clearest evidence that fear no longer has access to you. The real miracle is not something happening at midnight. It's you realizing midnight never had authority in the first place. And when you understand that, you stop waiting for dramatic shifts. You start walking in steady power. And steady power silences fear every time. There's one final moment no one talks about. It's not midnight, it's the morning after. Because the real test of what you believe doesn't happen when the clock strikes 12. It happens when you wake up, when your alarm goes off, when sunlight hits your room, when life feels normal. In the occult world, we measured power by visible reaction. If something intense happened, we called it success. If the atmosphere felt heavy, we called it activation. If someone reacted emotionally, we called it confirmation. But when I came to Christ, I had to redefine what success looked like. The morning after midnight prayer used to feel like evaluation. Did it work? Did anything shift? I something coming. That mindset keeps you scanning for evidence. And when you scan for evidence, you often manufacture it. But one morning, after praying calmly at midnight, I woke up and didn't feel the need to check anything. No spiritual temperature reading, no anxiety, no anticipation, just peace. And that peace felt unfamiliar because it wasn't dramatic, it was steady. That's when I realized something powerful. If you can wake up the next day without fear, without obsessing over signs, without looking for confirmation, you are already free. Freedom is not fireworks. Freedom is stability. If you pray at midnight on January 21 and the next morning feels ordinary, don't dismiss that. Ordinary can be holy. Ordinary can be protected. Ordinary can be proof that intimidation no longer controls you. The enemy thrives on heightened emotion, but authority thrives in calm confidence. So tomorrow morning, don't measure your night by spectacle. Measure it by peace. If you wake up grounded, clear-minded, and steady, that is the shift. Not something happening to you, but something no longer controlling you. And when midnight loses its psychological power over you, you don't just conquer a date. You break a pattern. You reclaim your authority, and you step into a life where time no longer dictates your spiritual confidence. That is what real deliverance looks like. Quiet, stable, unshaken.